Everyone wants to redeem their points for first and business class on luxurious airlines, but when you often go to redeem your points, you'll find that trying to get award availability can be quite difficult. So today, what we're going to talk about is one of my favorite award travel tools, Seats.Aero. Now, my name is Sean. I'm the co-host of the Credit Card BS podcast. Today's episode is going to be a bit different because Sherwin and I are on a bit of different schedules right now. So for this episode and possibly even next week, we're going to not be able to record together, but don't worry, Sherwin, we'll be back in no time. And so today, though, we're going to do a deep dive into Seats.Aero, which is my personal favorite tool in all of award travel. Now, for those of you watching the video, there'll be some visuals on screen of Seats.Aero that will be able to help you follow along. And then for those of you in the audio, I'll be kind of verbalizing what I'm doing so you're able to follow along just fine as well. And now, before we get started on how Seats.Aero works, the nature of it, I do want to say that this video is not sponsored. So I have no affiliation directly with Seats.Aero. They're not paying us to do this at all. I just really like the tool. And there will be an affiliate link in the description should you choose to sign up for Seats.Aero, but it is not like an official affiliate link. It's just a personal one. So I only just get like a free month of membership for the pro membership if you choose to sign up with the link below. And so, okay. Let's talk about Seats.Aero. Let's talk about how it works, why it's unique. So a lot of the previous, before Seats.Aero was around, most award searching tools did what is called live search, where, when you want to search for a flight, let's say you want to fly from Los Angeles to London or something like that, and you want to find award seats, you would do a live search. You would, what they would do is you would go to the tool would go to the airline's website, scrape the data off the site, and it would search live, as in once I hit the search button, that's when the search is run, right? And that seems simple enough, right? Like when you want to actually make a search, that's when you make the search. But the problem with that, okay, is it's slow. Because if I want to, let's say, search from Los Angeles to London, and I want to check all of these different airline programs, right? Let's say I'm not picky. I'm happy to do whatever availability is open on any of the major airline programs if I can transfer. And I want to search that takes a while. That's not something that can be done instantaneously fast. And it makes it very annoying. So if you use a tool like point.me, for example, you'll see this happen a lot, where you make a search and it takes 2 minutes for your query to come back. And it's sure, that's fine if you want to search for a very narrow range, right? If I just want to fly from Los Angeles to London on this date and I don't want to take any other dates and I'm not flexible at all, that's fine, right? You just need to make one search. But it's really annoying if you wanted to do that for a series of dates, a series of airports, if you wanted to do flexible searching. And award travel really is the best when you're flexible because that's when you can get the best deals and the best flights and the best availability. And so Seats.Aero works a bit differently. Seats.Aero primarily works based on cached searching. So the idea is these award seats, yes, they change frequently, but they don't change that frequently. It's not like a stock trading app, stock trading where, the price can fluctuate wildly within a few minutes. Usually if a seat is there, it probably will be there for at least several hours. And so this is a primary candidate for caching, where what Seats.Aero essentially does, now I could be getting some of the details wrong, okay, but from how I understand it, what Seats.Aero does, instead of saying, okay, look, when someone makes this query to search a specific route or a specific date, instead of running a super long search on that event, what we're going to do is we're going to take for every major airline alliance and every program that we track, we're going to, instead of saying, what if we just track certain flights, we're going to basically track every flight, every single route that every single airline partner that you can book on points is virtually all of them, okay, are essentially tracked. And so if you instead, let's say, instead of updating it instantly when someone searches, if you were to instead update it once a day, once every half day, some varying degrees depending on how in demand the route is and how often the seats change, you can then have it stored in a centralized database. And so when a user goes to Seats.Aero to make a query, it's essentially instantaneous. So and what this allows you to do is do ultra flexible searching. So instead of on a traditional award travel tool going, okay, I want to fly from Los Angeles to Hawaii, Los Angeles to New York on this date, right? No, nothing's open on this date. What about the next date? Oh, nothing there. Okay, what about the next date? What about the next date? Seats.Aero allows you to do something that's truly amazing in this space. The ultimate flexible search. So instead of me saying, I want to do this very narrow single day search, I can do something like, I want to fly from anywhere in the United States to anywhere in Asia, Europe, or the Middle East anytime within the next year. I want to see every first class seat you got. Okay, I want to see every business class seat you got. What if I only want to look for these airlines? And that's what makes this tool so powerful. Now, on the video, we're going to start diving into this, and I'll continue to verbalize it. But that's essentially what the essence of the tool is. You're able to run these ultimate flexible searches that no other award travel tool can run. And this is why Seats.Aero, for someone like me, who is very flexible in my travel schedule, who wants these really good deals, values a lot. Because these other tools, I just simply can't use them enough because I'm not going to be doing specific day searches. You know, if you're looking for international business class space to, let's say, Asia, you're not going to be able to find it just by going single dates. Very rarely is that the case that you'll get lucky enough for that. You're going to have to do broad searches. And so that's what makes the tool so powerful. So Seats.Aero has a few different functionalities. The main ones that I use, we'll just talk about the ones that I think, you know, for an average person, I think are pretty usable. So I think the search function, I mean, of course, is really cool. And so like what you can do, for example, on the search, as I was saying, let's say we want to fly anywhere in the US, anywhere in like the mainland US, right? And then I want to fly to anywhere, let's just say in Asia, okay? And I'm not picky on my dates. We can do something like, I don't know, March, mid-March. Now, I want to go plus minus a week, okay? So within a 14-day range. Now, it might take a second because this is an extremely broad query, okay? All of the US to all of Asia. And then let's say, okay, we only want to, and so we'll filter this. So look, we already see availability here. We've got LAX to Taipei, we got SFO to Hong Kong, Chicago to Hong Kong on Cathay, right? All that availability. Now, this is all cool. You know, I can, and I already have inspiration here, right? I can see what the current availability is. Now, we can see, for example, with Seats.Aero, how it works is like you're using, it checks it on specific partners. So, for example, from like on March 21st, we see that there's a seat on Copa from SFO to Narita. Now, Copa is charging 150,000 points. Now, that's actually not Saver Space. Even though that's a partner, Copa is a partner in this case. Copa, it has a specialty partnership with United, so it's charging more points. So we can add more filters if we want to like be specific on this. So let's say, for example, I want to narrow it down. I want to travel only from the West Coast to Asia. I want to do plus minus a week. I only want direct flights. I only want my taxes to be below, let's say, $300. And I want to fly only All Nippon Airways, so NH, and then maybe that or JL, or yeah, we'll just say those for now. We're probably not going to find much space because these carriers are fairly restrictive. And so, okay, we do see some space here. Now, we'll see like we have LAX to Taipei, San Francisco to Shanghai, but a lot of these, right, are on United. So what we can do is we can do a broader search. We can raise it to plus minus 28 days. So we can now make it where we're searching within like a 2-month window. And potentially, right, you may have some more things. Doesn't look like that here because it's intra-Asia business class. Availability is very, very tough to get. And we're also sorting by specific carriers. So again, we can broaden it, right? There's a lot we can do here. And that's what makes it so flexible. I think what my favorite features of the search tool here are definitely going to be the plus minus day range. The fact that you can quite literally search up to plus minus 180 days for a single query is pretty insane. So it's the whole year. You can search the whole year at once if you want. As well as the multi-airport codes. I think the multi-airport codes are, and the fact that you can add more airport codes in yourself is really useful. So like, you know, ASA is basically all Asian major airports. WST is West Coast major airports. USA is mainland US airports. EUR is European major airports, etc. MEA is Middle Eastern major airports. That's really useful because, you know, maybe I don't even know where I want to go necessarily, right? Maybe it's like, okay, look, I know I need to get to like maybe I want to get to Dubai, right? But like, I don't really care how I get there, right? I can go through Doha, I can go through other hubs. So it's like, okay, then I search for MEA, right? I can search for the Middle Eastern hubs. So instead of having to like manually type in Dubai, Doha, maybe I want to connect other places, right? I can just literally type in like the only places I want to go. And it's just a single airport code. It makes it very easy. And of course, you can do multi airport codes as well. Maybe it's like I want to go to middle, as I was kind of using an example earlier, I want to go LA to Middle East, Asia, or Europe. And so we could see like, okay, what's open then, right? And we can see the availability there. So I think it's just it's a really amazing how you can go so broad and you can also go so granular at the same time. The fact that you can designate by specific operating carriers, specific alliances, specific transfer partners of credit cards. If let's say you don't even know where you can redeem your points, right? You're more like getting into this game. You don't even know where to redeem your points, where you can redeem your points. So you can just select the points that you have. You can select days of the week. It's insanely, that's what makes this tool so good, right? You can be so broad with it and you can be so fine with it at the same time. The other features I think of Seats.Aero I think are like really worth talking about are tools. So I think if you're someone that wants to fly a specific product, I do hope they implement more of these tools in the future because I find these really fun to just browse sometimes. So like one I frequently browse is ANA First Class Finder. And so like I will, come on here occasionally to see like, hey, is there any like interesting routes from, that I could book on ANA First Class? Because you can use Virgin Points on ANA First Class. And, right now there's not much, but we do see like a lot of space out of Chicago for next summer. So if anyone wants to do that, great space out of Chicago for next summer on ANA First Class. And it's a really nice tool. Like you can just come on browse and like check, okay, like have they dropped any more interesting award space on ANA? And you like might say, okay, like sure, like how often though is it going to match this thing I want to book? Funny enough, literally last night I'm talking to a friend and it's like, wait a second, I just found a seat from Japan to Chicago on a date and a route that like totally works for me. And so I literally just like called up Virgin right then, booked the seat within like 5 minutes. And so I wouldn't have even known about that without this tool because it's like I wouldn't have been specifically searching for it and I wouldn't have set an alert for it because, it wasn't something that was like on my mind, but I was like, wait, this would have worked. And then the other tool I think is also like really useful. And this is probably the most useful for someone that is trying to book an in-demand route or someone who is flexible in the sense of like you have refundable tickets is the alert section. The alerts, being able to set alerts is really useful. I'm going to blur out my phone number there. Because my phone number is on the screen. But the alert section is really useful because you're able to set all the rules we just talked about for the searching, you can do for the alerts as well. So you can set specific mileage programs, you can set specific airport codes, you can set multi-airport codes, you can set date ranges of like, okay, I just want to fly, between this time to this time. You can do also what I think is really cool, you can do the any date function, which essentially how it works is if you do any date, you're able to like literally say like, okay, let's say for example, I want to fly a product that's so exceedingly rare that's never open ever on partner space. So if it ever opens, I want to fly it. As an example of this would be like, let's something like Qantas First, maybe. Let's say I want to fly Qantas First Class, which is essentially never open for partner bookings, right? Like it just doesn't exist pretty much. So I could set like an any date alert for Qantas First. And so that's useful in the sense that like, okay, look, I just want to fly this product. Date ranges are the one that most people are going to be using, and I've been using the most, where it's like, okay, I just set a specific range of, when I want to fly. You can set cabin availability. And you can also set like specific kinds of filters, like the maximum amount of points you want to pay, if you want to only fly direct, maximum fees. It's really useful. Now, in terms of like the pricing for Seats.Aero, anyone can use it for free. But I forget the specifics on this, but there's only like a limit of how far you can search out. And also you are limited on the like functionality of your alerts. So like if you want to access all those like granular features I was just talking about for setting alerts for, direct flights and stuff like that, you will need a pro membership. The pricing is $10 a month if you're buying like a monthly membership. For me, there's no question it's worth it because, okay, look, you're paying $120 a year for this membership. But if it helps you book like one flight, which I can assure you, if you're someone like that is traveling with any degree of frequency, this tool is going to help you. Like this tool single-handedly, like I'm going to Japan like very soon, and I'm flying Japan Airlines first class because of an alert I got from Seats.Aero, right? You're constantly getting alerts if you set them right. Like you're getting, it works. Like it really works well. And again, I want to emphasize this is no like, I'm not sponsored by Seats.Aero at all, right? There's no like incentive for me to be talking about this and praising. Like, I'm praising this tool very heavily right now. Okay, and I think people that have seen previous episodes of the podcast will know I can be pretty critical, right, on like a lot of things. And if there's issues or something, this is a tool I really do love. Like, this is something that I think can level up your award travel game so significantly. And what's interesting to me about it is that there's not even another tool that comes close in the range of like its functionality. Any of these other tools like Point.me, Award Logic, I don't even remember the other tools because I don't use them. It's not even in the same plane of existence. So I really do highly recommend Seats.Aero. I really like what the founder is doing with this. I like how when Air Canada asked him to back off and not pull availability from Aeroplan, he didn't just do what Expert Flyer did and then pull all the good Star Alliance airlines. He's actually fighting it. They're in a lawsuit currently. So I really do like this tool. I think it's a really good thing to use. I think it really helps you out. It helps me out like significantly. I wouldn't be able to do these flights that I'm currently doing without this tool. I think it's one of the most powerful award searching tools. I mean, it is the most powerful award searching tool in the world right now. In terms of like, okay, I've praised it a lot. Let's just talk about real quick. Is there anything I think that would be like a good thing that they could do to like improve the tool? I wish they would have more like tool features. So I do think, for example, like right now they have, ANA First Class Finder, Delta One Finder, Lufthansa First Class Finder, Q Suites Finder, Plus Points Finder, and Air Canada E-Upgrade Finder. Maybe a few other tools would be nice. Maybe like Japan Airlines First Class Finder. I would like that. Because I think a lot of times Japan Airlines is a bit easier of a first class to book than ANA. Maybe ANA the Room Finder, right? Things like that. I think some more tools would be nice. Honestly, like that's mainly it. I think there's not much on my mind right now because it is really at a point where there's not much more I need out of a tool. I really recommend it. We'll cut this episode short today. There's not that much more to talk about. I talked about it a lot. But really good tool. I really recommend it. And I think even if you don't want to get a subscription or whatever, just check it out. I think you should see how it works. It's a good way to understand, how the tool works. And you can compare it to other tools as well, of course. And yeah, if you end up subscribing to it, just affiliate link in the description. I don't get paid. I just get a free month of membership. I'm going to pay for my membership anyways. So nice to get a free month. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. And yeah, check out the Discord link in the description. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next week.